Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we're cooking pumpernickel bread. Here's what we need. I couldn't get fresh yeast, so I'm using dried yeast. And everything else I've measured out. So the thing with if you're using dry yeast in place of fresh yeast, it's about a third of the measurement. So if you buy these little sachets, one of those is close enough to 25 grams of fresh. So let's go. Grab yourself a small bowl, because in this bowl we're going to get one of the sachets of yeast, or if you was lucky enough to have the fresh yeast. So one of these. We're going to mix it with half a cup of the lukewarm water. So I'd put the water in first, and then you can sprinkle it on top, and then just get a spoon and stir it in. So I've made bread before, but not for a very long time, so I thought the idea of making this would be good because I'm going to use it with something tonight. So I'm going to sprinkle it over the top, and then just stir it in. Grab another bowl, and we're going to mix everything else together. So with this yeast, just set this aside for the time being until we need it again. With the molasses, I weighed it out in a jug, so I just sprayed it so it wouldn't stick. Oil is 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, and this is not a tablespoon, this is half a tablespoon, so I want 4 of these. Add in your remaining water, which is a cup. Give that a good stir. And then what you want to do is add your yeast mixture. Now, I didn't bother to look for strong plain flour, so I'm just using normal plain flour. Chuck that through the sifter. The thing with making bread is you need time because you're going to be letting it sit for a while. So best to do this on a day when you're home. Okay. And then the other flour was rye flour, 275 grams, not quite the whole packet. So I just weighed that out anyway. So I'm going to mix the two flours in together. And then what we want to do is bring this closer, and we're going to mix it in slowly. Probably best with one of our handy spatulas. So start stirring and just gradually in it goes. This bread is quite dark, which is obviously, if you vaguely remember, pumpernickel bread is a dark brown, almost black colour. But whew, the smell. It's a strong smell. I'm assuming it'll be fine though. Now it's quite sticky. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a floured surface. So get some of your flour. This is probably a good way to use up the last of your rye flour actually, but I'm just going to use my normal flour just to put down on the surface. So as I said, it's quite sticky, so I'm actually going to put some gloves on for this one. Okay, now it doesn't look very pleasant obviously, and it's super sticky, so, but I've got it on this floured board. So what I'm doing now is just kneading it. There we go. Once you start getting that flour into it, always a good idea to put some on your hands as well. Just knead it until it's smooth. That's it. So this is going to make us 2 loaves of bread. We want to get it into a nice firmish sort of ball. That's better. Now we're going. Yeah, it's still very sticky though. And I'm feeling like I need more flour, so I'm going to have to use that rye flour. So beware, you're going to use a lot of flour with this one. So while you're kneading it, you are going to use a lot of flour. Give up on gloves, they're useless. Put some flour on your hands and it will make it easier. So spray a bowl. I'm just going to reuse this one. And then put your ball of dough in the bowl. We're going to set this aside somewhere warm with a tea towel over it for an hour and a half. Now, it is the middle of winter. I do live in the Blue Mountains, so I had a cake cooking. So I'm just going to leave it on top of the oven because to me that's the warmest place, other than putting it in the bedroom or something. So tea towel over the top. Put your timer on for an hour and a half and we'll be back. Okay, 1.5 hours. It's definitely doubled in size. So now what we need to do is knead it again and then leave it to stand covered for another 10 minutes. So our towel back on. Alright. Oh yeah. Still doughy in a way, but I'm Just going to get some flour. So I recommend just putting flour on your hands, a bit over the top. Just try and do it in the bowl. It might make less mess this way. A messy thing, but hopefully the end results will be worth it. So we're just going to knead it a bit. Oh, yeah, it's not so sticky now, which is good. Not really sure how long to do this for, so I'm just going to do it for a little while. It is nice and elastic, which is good. Okay, set it aside for 10 minutes with the cover over it. Okay, 10 minutes is up. Knead it again and shape it into 2 loaves. Grab your 2 trays and then we're going to divide it into 2. So the easiest way is to divide it now. Just give it a pat. Shape it like that. It is going to grow again because we're going to cover it, so don't stress about covering the whole lot. I hate when I get the sticky bit. Shape it into a loaf. Okay, and put that aside. Half an hour covered. Let's go. While your bread is under the tea towel, sleeping, preheat your oven to 220 degrees, which does seem very hot. But I'm going to put it on 200 and we'll see how we go. No. Okay, remove the tea towel. They have doubled in size. Grab that egg and just brush them, just to give it a glaze. These are going in the oven for half an hour, 220 degrees. I'm doing them at 200 degrees. Alright, we'll check on them soon. And there they are. Beautiful. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I'll catch you next time.